And we're back once again at Judges chapter 14, verse 8. And after a time he returned to take her, and he turned aside to see the carcass of the lion, and behold, there was a swarm of bees and honey in the carcass of the lion. Notes, now this event probably took several weeks after the previous event, and honey represents here the blessings of the Lord which come to us in respect to the defeat of Satan, which we accomplish by our faith. However, it must be faith in Christ and what he did at the cross. So if the believer walks after the Spirit, Satan will be defeated and his attack turned into blessings. Romans chapter 8, verses 1 and 2 documents that to some degree. Verse 9, and he took thereof of the honey in his hands, and went on eating, and came to his father and mother, and he gave them, and they did eat, but he told not them that he had taken the honey out of the carcass of the lion. Notes, in other words, the Spirit of the Lord had begun his glorious work in the life of Samson, and did so by strengthening him to such an extent that he could kill a wild animal of that kind of strength with his bare hands, which typified Christ, overcoming the power of darkness and bringing about the sweet results of victory. Victory, incidentally, which is ours because we are in him. John chapter 14, verse 20. Verse 10. So his father went down unto the woman, and Samson made there a feast, for so used the young men to do. Notes, basically to celebrate the wedding. Verse 11. And it came to pass, when they who were the Philistines saw him, that they brought 30 companions to be with him. Notes, now this is some kind of indication that Samson's family was at least some family of wealth and position, because they're getting some kind of attention like this. Anyways, verse 12. And Samson said unto them, I will now put forth a riddle unto you, if you can certainly declare it me within the 7 days of the feast, and find it out, then I will give you 30 shirts and 30 change of garments. But if you cannot declare it me, then shall you give me 30 shirts and 30 change of garments. And they said unto him, Put forth your riddle, that we may hear it. Notes, now, riddles in their interpretations were actually a form of entertainment at that particular time, and well, history has certainly borne that out. Verse 14. And he said unto them, Out of the eater came forth meat, and out of the strong came forth sweetness. And they could not in 3 days expound the riddle. Notes, in effect, he was telling the Philistines that the Spirit of the Lord had already begun to come upon him, which began with the killing of the lion, which was a type of Satan and the Philistines. And the resultant honey was the sweetness that would come forth from this great deliverance. However, the Philistines, of course, had no idea as to its true meanings. Verse 15. And it came to pass on the 7th day that they said unto Samson's wife, Entice your husband, that he may declare unto us the riddle, lest we burn you and your father's house with fire. Have you called us to take that we have? Is it not so? Notes, in other words, we're not giving this Israelite anything, okay? If you don't do what we say, there's going to be trouble. Anyways, verse 16. And Samson's wife wept before him and said, You do but hate me and love me not. You have put forth a riddle unto the children of my people, and have not told it me. And he said unto her, Behold, I have not told it my father nor my mother, and shall I tell it you? And she wept before him the 7 days while their feast lasted. Notes, in other words, she's putting on the waterworks, trying to get the answer to the riddle, and Samson's not willing to do that. And it came to pass on the 7th day that he told her, because she lay sore upon him, and she told the riddle to the children of her people. And the men of the city said unto him on the 7th day before the sun went down, What is sweeter than honey, and what is stronger than a lion? And he said unto them, If you had not plowed with my heifer, you had not found out the riddle. Notes, now Samson knew that his wife had actually told them the answer. Well, verse 19. And the Spirit of the Lord came upon him, and he went down to Ashkelon, and killed 30 men of them, and took their spoil, and gave change of garments unto them which expounded the riddle. And his anger was kindled, and he went up to his father's house. Notes: the Philistines would find the answer to the riddle, but they, as of yet, had no idea as to who exactly Samson was, nor the damage that he would do to them. Verse 20. But Samson's wife was given to his companion, whom he had used as his friend. Notes: so this is basically betrayal on all accounts, by the Philistines typifying the world, and by his wife typifying companionship with the world, and by his friends typifying basically an unholy alliance. Okay, Samson, he's getting himself into lots of trouble with these people, and there's going to be trouble. Chapter 15. But it came to pass within a while after, in the time of wheat harvest, that Samson visited his wife with a kid goat, or kid, I should have just said. And he said, I will go in to my wife into the chamber, but her father would not suffer him to go in. Notes: now this is late May or early June, and a kid is actually a small lamb. Anyways, verse 2. And her father said, I verily thought that you had utterly hated her, therefore I gave her to your companion. Is not her younger sister fairer than she? Take her, I pray you, instead of her. Notes: life is usually marked by folly when self-will is the spring of action. Well, to the contrary, when God's will governs the life, prudence, and prosperity, whenever God's in charge, things go right. Accordingly, Samson foolishly returned to the woman who so basely betrayed him. And we must pick up in chapter 15 of the book of Judges, verse 3. Thank you.